quarter sheet, give your definition of the following poetry terms. Speaker, stanza, message, imaginary, and line.
What do you guys come up with definitions for those?
I don't have a quarter sheet.
Yes, Zach.
You didn't get a quarter sheet?
Speaker, I got someone who speaks in front of a audience.
No, keep going after you.
Did we go through all of them?
Yeah.
Stanza, I think it's not a type of poem. I don't remember exactly. I don't know.
I think it is.
A message is like something that somebody says that kind of gets to you, or you kind of, I don't know, kind of like a, and then imagery, the visual image of something that you read from the text, and then rhyming. They said making a word rhyme with another word.
Did you want to read yours? No, thank you. You read.
Plenty.
And you might want to gather those so you have some good ideas.
Do you want our names on them?
No.
No. I'll put my name, just to be safe. Do you want to wait?
Yes.
My name is to be safe. Four of them, dude. Sorry.
Did you find it?
We shut one light off.
And then why don't you hit present and then shut the first two lights off at least. Yep.
May 30th, 1900, birthplace unknown. Some sources say that Cullen was born in Louisville, Kentucky, Baltimore, or New York City. I think it was Lexington, Kentucky. Lost his parents and brother. He was raised by his grandmother until she died in his teen years. 1918 through 1921, he attended DeWitt Clinton High School, attended New York University, graduated from Beta Kappa in 1925, graduated from Harvard University in 1926 with a master's degree. He was recognized as an award-winning poet by his high school years. In 1926, he joined educational staff of Harvard. In 1934, Cullen took a teaching job as a French teacher at Frederick Douglass Junior High School, attended Harvard University Opportunity Magazine, and attending the Cullen Dark Tower. In 1925, Cullen released a volume of poetry, Color.
Okay, before you go on, and I'm going to probably be stopping in the middle of yours at certain times more because you are our first ones and you're our guinea pigs. So all of the other students can learn from you guys, so thank you, thank you. But this also goes for you students that are taking notes. When you have a lot of information like this, remember, we're not looking for details like birthday. We don't care when the guy or girl was born, but gather what's something of significance here. What is a summary statement that would be important for you to remember about Countee Cullen? Okay, that he attended colleges, that he attended or that he graduated with a master's degree. Things like that of true significance. And then what did he do after that? Those types of things are significant versus itty-bitty details.
Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yes.
I don't think we are.
Okay. Quote, what is Africa to me? Copper sun or scarlet sea, jungle star or jungle track, strong bronze men or regal black women from whose loins I sprang when the birds of Eden sang. That's a poem from Heritage by Cullen.
Is that one of his most famous poems, Heritage?
Harlem Wine by Countee Cullen. This is not water running here. These thick rebellious streams that hurtle flesh and bone past fear down alleyways of dreams. This is a wine that must flow on, not caring how or where. So it has ways to flow upon where song is in the air. So it can woo an artful flute with loose, elastic lips. Its measurement of joy compute with blithe, ecstatic hips.
Born on March 30th, 1903, Countee Cullen would grow up to be one of the most inspirational poet/writer of the Harlem Renaissance. It's unclear where he was born and what he did in most of his childhood, though people believe he was born in either Baltimore or Kentucky. Countee Cullen was abandoned by his mother when he was at a very young age, and at 9, a woman named Miss Porter took him in. They moved to Harlem, where he would then grow up. In 1918, Miss Porter died, and Countee was adopted by Reverend and Miss Frederick A. Cullen. Formerly known as Countee Porter, he changed his name to Countee Cullen when he was adopted. The Harlem Renaissance was a time that was greatly influenced by art. Countee was an editor, novelist, playwright, children's writer, educator, and a columnist, though he was most famous for his poetry. Countee addressed race issues in his art in ways that nobody had in the past. He taught people that not only white was beautiful, but black was too. Cullen was created the new Negro of the time. He died at age 42 on January 9, 1946 due to complications resulting in high blood pressure. Nowadays, people can still visit and admire his work at the New York Public Library, where most of his work can be found. Countee Cullen was one of the most influential people of his time. He is the reason many black people still had hope and courage to keep going.
In one of another poems called The Wise, so, dead men are wisest, for they know how far the roots of flowers go, how long a seed must rot to grow. Dead men alone bear frost and rain.
Were you going to analyze that one a little bit? And again, I'll step in as using you as guinea pigs here. So again, thank you. When you present your poetry, remember, our purpose is to find out what impact these authors had on American literature and the society of the time during the Harlem Renaissance, and what their literature was like, why it was powerful. So when you get to your specific texts, we really want to spend time on them and see the value in them. What is the author's message? What is the author's imagery that he or she is using in either poetry or the short story or the essay? With poetry specifically, what rhyme scheme do they use? What do they use? Other things like alliteration. What organization do they use? Like this one is set out in 4 stanzas, and you'll need to return to your definitions. The stanzas are like what, Kade or Tori? Like paragraphs. So you have 4 paragraphs here of 3 lines. And what's going on in those lines and what do each of them mean to the overall message? So you can go into that, because I know, Megan, you had talked about that.
Well, what I think this poem means is dead people, like people that passed away, they can see things from a different view. Like when it's with how far the roots of flowers go and how long they see them rapidly grow. They see things beforehand because they aren't spiritually up here anymore. They get to see things before they happen, and they try to warn people before they happen.
Okay.
What does anybody else think it means?
And specifically that last stanza. Why don't you read that last stanza too, again?
Oh, this one?
Uh-huh.
Strange men should flee their company, or think me strange who long to be wrapped in their cool immunity.
Their immunity. The immunity of the dead.
What do you think, Zach?
I feel like the story's more about wise people, you know? That I've been there and done that.
Oh.
I wanted someone else to follow in their footsteps, long footsteps.
And what does the word immunity mean? If you are immune from something.
Can't get it, can't have it, do you?
Okay. And who is immune? Who's Countee Cullen saying is immune? What? The dead people, right? So they are the wise ones that don't have, that they're immune to all of the hurt, all of the joy, the pain, the love, the hate. They're immune to that, and he's considering that wise.
Once writing in old Baltimore, heart filled, head filled with glee, I felt the Baltimore and keep looking still at me. Now it's age and very small, and here no whit bigger. So I found by people that have come. They come to call me familiar. I saw the old Baltimore from many other settlers of all the things that have been, that's all that I remember. This reminds me that in the very place that in Baltimore, the one thing we know is
What was that, Zach? Okay, and where, back then, early 1900s, where is Baltimore? Baltimore what? What state is Baltimore in? Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. So it's in the north. It's in the north. And what do we know about the north versus the south? Right, so you would think that there would be less prejudice up there and less racism. So you can look at things like, as you look at the message, look at each stanza, break down each stanza. Also look at the author's craft, like the rhyme scheme. How is he using rhyme in here? What has he done with imagery? What pictures do you see in your mind through each stanza or each line? Okay, do you want to?
Do we print out that blue? Did we get that printed out?
It's on that, on the link.
So you didn't want us to do that?
It's on the link there, if you want.
Yeah, we did it, though. We analyzed it.
Oh, okay. So, somebody open it up real quick and take yours out, make a copy of it, or actually just delete your part of it, and then I'll put it back when I look at it, so that they can make a copy after you delete that part. That'd be fine.
So you want to get on my computer?
Well, no, you can click on there. Yep. And then I'll go back in the revision history and look at it.
Okay, locked arm and arm, they grasp the leg, the black boy and the white, the golden splendor of the days, table, pride, and name. We're just gonna analyze this part of the board. So who wants to analyze the first part?
Well, wasn't this your assignment for them to do?
Yeah,
Why don't you, okay, they're going to do that themselves, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna do it as a group.
Oh,
That's what we just said.
We're doing it in an offer schedule.
Yeah, we're just doing it as a group, section by section.
okay, well, they need an assignment.
This is
Why don't you go section by section with incident? That's what your lesson plan said. Show them incident and go stanza by stanza with that. And then they can, in their groups. There you go.
You want us to go make a copy of it?
Not yet. You can walk through incident and,
Once riding in Old Baltimore, heart-filled, head-filled with glee, I saw Baltimore and keep looking at me. What do you guys think the first stanza means?
and what image do you see there? What picture in your mind do you see?
Riding a bike down the street, in the sky, it was white, staring at me. Like, what are you doing? That's what I get from that.
Anybody
You're
else
thinking
wanna
horse?
say something?
The kids at me, which
Yeah.
okay, I'm trying to do this here. It's quite a
Okay.
bit.
Now I was 8 and very small, and he was no whit bigger, and so I smiled, but he poked out his tongue and called me nigger. What do you guys think that one means?
Did you wanna say something, Grace?
Yeah. I think like it happened when he was little, so he didn't really understand, so he was like smiling.
So one little black boy looking at another little boy who's white from Baltimore, and he's staring at him, and so he just smiles.
He didn't know.
I like the white part of how he's doing his parents probably like that. Just following in their footsteps.
Mm.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah.
Elaborate. You can elaborate on
Expound on it. Give us more as to what that means. He's following in the
it.
footsteps.
The white boy's parents probably racist towards blacks, and they call them that N-word all the time. So the kid just kind of figures it's okay to call them that.
Mhm.
So, I'm pretty sure that Anna Cohen's probably used to it.
Do you think he was used to it? He was 8, he was up in the north.
He probably heard a lot, but probably didn't know what it means.
Okay. Yeah. And he was being nice to the boy, wasn't he? He smiled. The kid was staring at him, and so he smiled. What was he expecting when he smiled at him?
Smile back.
Yeah, he was expecting the nice, common, decent, human thing to do for the kid to respond with a smile. But he didn't get that, did he?
I saw the whole of Baltimore from May until December. Of all the things that happened there, that's all that I remember. What's that mean? Anybody?
Start the whole town of Baltimore and what that one kid did. By saying that he feels like the rest of Baltimore was like that. And that's what it was like from May until December. And all he remembers is the bad stuff that happened there. I love my goodness.
Because you're the only one that wants to do that.
Does anybody else have any comments? Tyler?
Did you say Luke?
I think that means that after all the time he spent there, he still only remembers what that one did.
When you go to visit a place, if you would go, especially up there in the north, Baltimore is a famous city with rich in history. It's in the north, so like Zach said, you wouldn't think that there'd be as much racism there. And there are beautiful things in that city, but does he remember any of those good things?
Nope.
No, he just remembers the bad human contact he had there with racism and discrimination and prejudice. So what might you say Countee Cullen's message is in this poem?
Racism aspect in a person's life, not just racism, anything. One bad thing that happens can affect the rest of your time in that place.
Yeah.
What do you think about it, Mike?
I can't hear you back here. Can you speak up, please?
Yeah, you have multiple influences, but like Blue Keys is the main influence on it.
Yeah, and think about the fact that they're kids, and kind of what Zach was saying. What message, if any, do you think Countee Cullen is saying about that? The fact that he chose the speaker of the poem to be a little 8-year-old.
Eight-year-olds are supposed to have fun, not be mean to each other like that.
Nothing in each other. In your table groups, get on Tableau and analyze it, you guys. Make a copy of it. Welcome to the stage, please.
So just try to think it on the other side.
In your groups, yep, in that.
Do we make a copy of it?
Yep, make a copy of it.
And then should they share it with whom?
Share it with the group.
But once with you,
Share it
with
with
Kate.
one of us.
Yeah. Okay. It don't matter.
Because then we can just upload it.
Yep. So share it with your group members, and then share it with one of our teachers today, so that they'll be able to grade your work.
Very good.
You're supposed to be doing.
Okay.
All right. So So I can do that. I don't know.
Of the day.
I can share with everyone.
Oh, yeah, sure. Don't I? Yeah, would you like to actually? I'm actually sharing right now. Yeah, do you want email or? Oh, you already got
Gotta analyze each thing. Oh, yeah.
Okay, you're gonna see it online. You guys see it? Okay. All right. I'll say what I think and then I send on to Rocks to you guys.
So basically, we're meditating right now.
Yeah.
Lock arm and arm across the way. Black boy, white eyes, gold splendid ways. White lies across the way. Golden spinal. Golden spinal. Hey, all right then. Sable fire. But and then obviously the sun. Are there not fun?
Okay, now here one group reciting it out loud again. That's fantastic. And poetry, oh, I didn't hear you guys. Good. Glad that all of you were then. Because reciting and rereading, and reciting the poetry is how you really get that message. You're able to hear it, and the more often you hear it, the more you get from it.
In unison.
Yeah.
So these people in this house.
You can talk with them about their interpretation. You can say, oh, that's a good interpretation. Why do you think that? Something like that.
But you're doing that.
Thank you. We were struggling a little bit there.
Oblivious to us.
Are you guys discussing things? It's talking about
We'll read it and then analyze
Lowers one.
And think of the words.
Golden splendor of the day and the sable pride of night.
Sable,
It's like
pride,
sunset
splendor.
almost.
Oh, sunset, yeah.
Because like it's like the most beautiful time of the day. So it's talking about the end of the season. The most beautiful time.
Oh, I like that. That's really nice. Also, add to that, think of how, because each one of those lines describes the white boy and the black boy, and think of what words he's using to describe each. Are they equal in beauty and strength and power, or does he diss one and raise another, or what does he do with that? I like that interpretation, though.
Lord, why the dark folks stare and
Oh, you are copying what I just said. You're copying. You're copying what I said.
Work in your group, you're going to the office.
Oh. Yeah.
Don't talk to the children.
We got.
Oh, shoot.
You'll be seen
Yeah.
in detention. Jeffrey Brooks?
Can she do that? I'm not sure. I don't recall giving that authority. The power is going to her head.
I don't like being recorded.
Sorry.
We have to go today, but no one has to go tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, but Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, because of prom decoration. Yeah.
Amen. No.
Stop it.
Who wants to share what they got for the third one?
They try not to think about racism, and they want it to be a non-racist world.
You guys can take which one you like.
Yeah,
Which one you want.
It's not spell checks.
Which one?
Whatever.
Anybody else have interpretations of the second and third?
You can read the whole thing if you want.
Alright, the second one, it said they're walking through they went to the white neighborhood where the white boy lives, and the whites are closing their blinds because they don't want to see a white and black. And the last one, they did not care what everyone thought about them two walking in front together. They were buddies and would go through hell before they were married.
Anybody else want to share any more of theirs?
Ashley, Courtney? And what, Nick had some good thoughts over here. What about these boys? Nick, did you
What?
pick up on?
The two, like, a little white and a little black kid that are walking together, and just nobody approves of it.
Okay, but what did you say about the two boys? You said locked arm in arm. That meant what?
They were really close.
Yeah, they were really close friends. Were they prejudiced against each other? Did they find racism an issue?
They didn't know.
No. Again, like incident, the poem before. The little kids did not have racism until what? Somebody taught them something. Yeah, the little white boy in incident had been taught racism, and the people in the second stanza had been taught racism. They were judging. They were.
Let's go back to the other poem we were at.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. This is like, this could be County Cullen and a little white buddy, and then,
Could be.
but in older age, he had that one, where his best friend
Incident?
told him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
They're both young boys who are written about.
Yeah, this one's like the younger, and then.
Could have
that
been.
one right there, where maybe it's his friend calling him that now.
Could be.
That's what I learned.
Could be. If you join those together, it definitely makes sense. And his message is the same in both of them, isn't it? That little kids naturally aren't racist until they learn it. Yeah, and then the adults just keep teaching it. Oh, there's the bell. You want to swipe that for me, please? Got about 4 minutes. You can wrap up.
Make sure you shared your assignment with one of us so we can grade it.
Okay.
So maybe a curve like